here. Do you know who you are? Good. Good. You still don't know. That's the way we need it for now. The Brotherhood has wiped you, so you can't reveal details. In case you are apprehended by the loathsome forces of evil we are preparing to battle, once my job is done, and you have all the data you require, they will unlock your past and you will be a super soldier. Or an excellent camp counselor, scaring the scheisse from the little kiddies around the campfire, with all the tales you can tell. Let's get it going now. Hello, fellow agents. I'm taking a small break this time, and instead I shall regale you with 2 sentence horror stories from the web. Yes, these aren't case files, not anecdotes of what others saw or heard or witnessed. They're utter bull-oney, but fun, like a bologna sandwich made of 2 slices of pure substrate with a lot of meat in between the lines. They are! I lay no claim to these. They are mere fanciful mental triggers produced from the prodigious pleasantry of photoelectric punkistry across the fruited plains of this prosperous planet. Let us begin. I found a nail in my tire. I think it was my neighbor. I was sure I'd gotten every bit of him off of my car. Devastated by my dog's death and wanting to do good for others, I asked the genie to bring all animals back to life that died in the past month. It wasn't until I felt the writhing contents of my stomach forcing its way up my throat and out of my mouth did I realize eating a steak tonight was a very bad idea. I promised my friend he'd always have a place to stay. Today, 10 years after his passing, I have kept my promise. The scientist successfully completed and tested his time machine. Tears of joy running down his face, he returned to his wife and said, "I'm going to enjoy killing you over and over and over again," before choking her. I closed my eyes while trying to sleep, pretending I hadn't heard it. The breath taken through the crack in my wall. Frustrated and perplexed, I began to pull my hair out. I don't get it. I just don't know how it grows back so quickly, or why it's all over my body. I scoured the case file as I tried to figure out where the bodies were hidden. I really need to stop drinking before I accidentally lead my team right to where I buried them. Since I had performed the ritual correctly, I was furious. The barmaid indeed showed up behind me in the mirror in the pitch dark of the bathroom, but without a pitcher of drink in her hands. When I heard someone scream, "Fire!" in the movie theater, I was terrified. But you can't imagine how I felt when I heard gunshots and screams right after. My wife's side of the bed has been getting colder every day since she died. But it's worth it. Frozen corpses last longer. For the first time, it felt like our dream had come true as we moved in a beautiful house which was previously a church. But now that we hear the screams of children every night, maybe the dream was a nightmare. My date had gone to the restroom to freshen up, so while she's away, I've emptied the contents of this vial into her drink. She returns, drinks the glass, and then suddenly bursts into flame, unaware I've laced her cocktail with holy water. My beloved. As I snuggled closer, I could tell I was beginning to leave an impression on my beloved. It's a shame they start to rot so fast. It's heartbreaking to watch the one you love fall in love with somebody else, especially when she can't see or hear me, and I can't warn her that somebody stole my body. Donating blood saves lives, and it saves so many vampires the trouble of hunting down their prey. I laughed as I sped past the driver, going too slow, letting him eat my dust. My laughter turned to gurgling when I rammed into a pickup truck carrying work equipment, sending long rods of rebar through my throat. My tongue explored the gummy clotted holes where my teeth had crumbled out moments ago. As the fangs pushed their way through, I knew the change was underway. I heard so much stomping in my upstairs neighbor's apartment last night. When they found his body covered in roaches, it all made sense. I willed my skull to a local theater company I admired. I'm starting to regret my decision as my soul remains firmly attached to it. People have been commenting on the improvement of meals at school recently. It's a shame all those kids went missing at the same time. I built a successful time machine and traveled 5 minutes into the past. Then, as the vacuum of space ripped the air out of my lungs, I took a final look at the Earth before my eyes started to boil. It's been months since our last fight, but every time I look into her deadly blue eyes, the rage comes rushing back. Therefore, I decided to remove her head from the mantle once and for all. Don't worry, we've got it in time, he said, as everyone in the room breathed a sigh of relief. But as the world started to go dark, I heard a deep voice that wasn't mine come out of my mouth. No, you didn't. Just start working. They'll see your passion and give you a job, said my father. I don't think the women appreciate my efforts to become a male porn star. Nobody has ever complained about their equipment failing. I realized too late why, as my parachute doesn't open. Don't even try to return here, you hideous freak. I hereby cast you out from the lab where I made you, and no matter what this cruel world has in store for you, I won't help. I snuck into a sculptor's workshop to investigate distant cries. With each move taking more and more effort, I saw marble figures calling, "One of us! One of us!" These millennials just don't stop whining about hard work, I muttered to myself. Dig deeper, I yelled. I'm not burying you in a shallow grave. He sighed in relief after having fully wiped the drive clean. The breath was cut short as he saw the images begin to reappear on the screen. I took the time to visit my parents today. People were horrified when I took their bodies out of their coffins. Don't let go, I shouted while holding my sister's arm off a cliff. But as it turned out, she let go because I was only holding her arm off that cliff. I committed a murder, and you can't prove that I didn't. I went downstairs to play hide and seek. The creature cracked its bones coming down the stairs, looking for me. I love the way she talks, the way she smiles, the way she waddles around after sex. Do you think she'll ever cover her camera? I won a game of hide and seek in the woods. I hope nobody heard the gunshots. I saw bumps forming on my arm and abdomen, but my doctor just dismissed it as an allergic reaction, until one of them opened their eye. My memory is not what it used to be, said our tour guide as we encountered yet another dead end in the cave system. I was a little taken aback when the model predicted 400,000 deaths by the end of the year, but I was impressed by her commitment to being right. The cops didn't believe me, but honestly, I didn't really want to kill her. I just got carried away. It's only now 4 weeks after the funeral that I would give anything to make sure she stays dead. As a child, I always loved painting the dolls that Father made in his workshop. Painting around the duct tape always seemed to be a challenge, though. We had caught the murderer after years of being on the loose, but I became petrified as my name and picture showed up after they scanned the fingerprint. If you wake up under anesthetic, you don't remember it. It turns out we all wake up and feel the cutting. Humans seem so afraid of death, so I often wonder, why do they hate me? I'm nothing compared to what I deliver them to. The world thought it was another solar eclipse, but it turns out the question of, are we alone, was finally answered. My last girlfriend always got creeped out by the 14 weird dolls I always kept on display. I have a new girlfriend now, and she wants me to throw out all 15 of these disturbingly lifelike and life-size dolls. A part of him still has to be human, I pleaded with my father. My father threw on his pointed white hood, tightened the rope and pulled, then softly said out loud, "No." As the monster gurgled its last breath, our children were finally safe to sleep. Mothers wept for joy because the human was dead. I just love this roast. There's a flavor I can't quite put my finger on, Henry mused between bites. Oh, it's just basil, I said while trying to figure out how to fit the rest of him in my freezer. My girlfriend said I needed to chuck my dead weight, so I threw my wife's body into the wood chipper. I'm done with my 70-year-old dad blackmailing me for sex every weekend. I don't care if he tells the cops where Mom's body is buried. My best friend and I love to compete, so when I brought up picking off the homeless, she laughed because she's already up 10. Damn, I'm still alive, she thought with disappointment when her mother woke her up to school. Only when she saw her mother's shocked face did she realize she said that out loud. When I was a kid, I was always upset when my friends had to leave early before we finished playing. Dying before I had finished skinning them was always so boring. What was I supposed to do with the rest of my day? I've had a tough time finding love, largely because I suffer from body integrity disorder, which is a compulsion to cut off parts of my own body. I finally found love with Frank, a cannibal. The shrapnel severed my jugular. Can't stand this body dying. My true form trying to burst out. Humans not ready to see. Tired, I sink to the floor. But just like on the horizon, there's nothing but ocean water. The world cheered as the meteor disintegrated. All was silence when dust from the meteor blocked out the sun, causing a second ice age. If you can't see them, they can't see you, is what my mother always said. As I turn off the lights to go to sleep, I pray that she was right, and that the cameras weren't able to see in the dark. Don't even try to respond, he whispered. The doctor doesn't know you're still conscious. Blink all you want. I won't help. If you were a serial killer, and I'm just spitballing here, but if you were, how would you kill me? I bent leering at my victim's horrified face. Think of it like a choose-your-own-adventure game. She seemed so happy to go for a walk along our favorite route, but shocked when I said goodbye, although she did still wave to me. Or more like, instead of waving her hands, they were flailing, and the look of surprise was probably from realizing I'd pushed her over our favorite spot, where she had protested for fences only the year before.
Like and subscribe before I die, and ring the little bell or you will surely go to hell.
Oh, we're telling spooky stories. This is not a spooky story. Oh, there's no way on the house I can say.
Depends how you look at it. It is kind of spooky.
I guess so.
Wait, that's it? That's the end of the story?
That is a